Hello everybody, and welcome to our challenge problem video. Today we have an interesting problem. We are given 79.4 grams of Cl2 and 20.6 grams of P. It says that we need to react them completely such that PCl3 and PCl5 are the only products. It wants to know what the final mass percent of PCl3 in the mixture will be. Something we have going for us on our side is that the total mass of the reactants is 100 grams. Therefore, the mass of the final product should be 100 grams total. This is because the law of mass conservation states that matter cannot be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. So let's make a plan. Number 1. Find the balanced chemical reaction. Number 2. Use mole-to-mole ratios to convert from the reactants to the products. Number 3. Convert the final mass of PCl3 into a mass percent. And number 4, we have to check our work. Number 1, finding the balanced chemical reaction. This is a two-step chemical reaction. The first reaction uses P and Cl2 to produce PCl3, but this is not balanced. In order to balance it, we need 2 P and 3 Cl2 on the reactant side and 2 PCl3 on the product side. The second reaction uses the product of PCl3 from the first reaction as a reactant along with Cl2 to form PCl5. This equation is already balanced. Number 1 is done. Now on to number 2, using a mole-to-mole ratio to convert from the reactants to the products. We have 20.6 grams of P and 79.4 grams of Cl2. We can convert each of these into moles using their atomic mass. We got the results of 0.6651 moles of P and 1.1199 moles of Cl2. To convert those into moles of PCl3, we have to use mole ratios, as shown here. We have 0.6651 moles of PCl3 and 0.7466 moles of PCl3. Now we must find the amount of excess Cl2. We convert the 0.6651 moles of PCl3 to moles of Cl2. To figure out the amount we have left over, we must subtract the amount we used from the initial amount. 0.1222 moles of Cl2 is left over. This amount will be used for the second reaction. We use the amount of PCl3 and Cl2 from the first reaction to identify the limiting reactant. To find the limiting reactant, we must convert from moles of PCl3 and Cl2 into moles of PCl5 using the mole ratios. We found that Cl2 is the limiting reactant, since it only produced 0.122 moles of PCl5. Now we must find the amount of PCl3 that we used. We have to convert from 0.122 moles of PCl5 to moles of PCl3. Since the ratio was 1:1, we got 0.122 moles of PCl3. We use this number to find the final amount of PCl3 used. Now we must convert both amounts of moles to grams using their atomic masses. We got 25.45 grams of PCl5 and 74.55 grams of PCl3. Number 2 is now done. Now for number 3. To calculate mass percent, we divide the grams of PCl3 by the total amount. The mass percent of PCl3 is 74.55%. Now we must check our work. To check our work, we must remember the law of mass conservation. We started with 100 grams. How much do we have now? The sum of 74.55 grams of PCl3 and 25.45 grams of PCl5 is 100 grams. Mass is conserved. Well done.